Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for May 20th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This pair closed down on Friday, still moving to the downside overall. Look for this pair to potentially on a reversal go up to 79.79, possibly as low as 78.70. Look for some resistance around 79.50 and look for some support around 79.00. Now looking at the Euro-USD pair, this pair pulled back on Friday, did break the previous session's low before doing so. We are looking for it overall to continue moving to the downside. However, potentially going as high as 128.93, possibly as low as 125.79. Look for some resistance around 128.25 and look for some support around 126.40. Now the pound US dollar pair, this pair surged to the downside on Friday as well. Went way below the previous low, but did close higher. Look for it to potentially go as high as 158.87, possibly as low as 156.77. Look for some resistance around 158.37 and look for some support around 157.25. Biased is still to the downside. Okay, now looking at the US Swiss, this pair closed down during this last during Friday's session. Did break previous session's high, gapped up a little bit, filled that gap. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 0.9542, possibly as low as 0.9312. Look for some resistance around 0.9495 and look for some support around 0.9367. Now, as far as news announcements go, we do have one news announcement going into tomorrow's session, and that's going to be released at 11 p.m. Eastern. That's New Zealand Reserve Bank releasing their 2-year inflation expectations. No forecast on that. Previous was 2.5%, which of course wouldn't be too bad as far as inflation numbers go, but we'll just have to keep a lookout and see if that is the case. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? Well, seems like we have some trend lines that have developed. The US-Japanese yen pair still looking for this upper one to be broken. You can see that over this last week we tagged the high here of these two sessions, tagged it. We've touched it before. Trend line is continuing to move. To be touched rather, and price to keep moving lower. So we're keeping an eye on that. Now the the Euro-USD pulling back. Do anticipate it pulling back. Let's zoom out a little bit more. You can see that we're getting close to a low here, a previous low rather, before it went back up. Not quite even, but real close. Hit that area of support and has bounced. So looking for it to potentially retrace, but most likely what we're going to see is some sideways movement. We may get a retracement up to this level. Just kind of waiting and seeing. I could see it retracing a little bit and then diving to the downside. Now the pound US dollar pair, it dropped rather strong and hard. Still looking for it to move lower. I still believe that it will come down and touch around the 156.61 mark. Got pretty low during Friday's session, but I do believe we will see lower numbers yet. Now the US Swiss, this pair is headed up towards previous areas of resistance, but we haven't got there as of yet. It has pulled shy of that, so I could see a pullback during this move to the upside and then a continuation of this trade. So definitely keep an eye on it. Now let's go to the Euro-USD. Let's just drop down and take a look at the 15-minute time frame. Maybe zoom out a little bit and see if there's anything significant happening here that we want to take a look at. Now we did have a break of trend line to the upside right here. As you can see, it was touched once, twice, 3 times, over at least 2 time frames there, it did break it and move to the upside. These trend lines, remember that you want your trend lines for a buy, you want the trend line to be headed up. And for a sell, you want the trend line to be headed to the upside for a sell, and for a buy, you want it to be headed to the downside. No specific trade that I'm looking at currently as far as where to get in, where to get out. I am just looking for these pullbacks to either continue in the same direction as the overall trend, or potentially give me a reversal signal. I think they're going to continue down. We haven't as of yet gotten a full pullback. Time to go into the trade again. I do anticipate getting that very soon, probably over the next couple of sessions, especially on the euro and the pound. We'll get a good point of entry here to go short, and then be able to watch it move to the downside. Well, that wraps us up for today. Till next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.